Hello, hello. It is Rebecca, Empathic Crow. Just recorded a channeled message and then also a gratitude thank you shout out message for one of my friends, Kara Kerr the Medium 222 on TikTok. She is amazing and she has these awesome oils and sprays and things for various intentions. So I will be posting that on TikTok when I get all of this posted later, but we're going to do a reading before I start tucking back into hopefully at least finishing the workbook portion. See what happens when I try to talk fast. The workbook portion of my course that I'm launching. Goal is January 1st. That is the goal. It is December 21st today. Messages are timeless. Oh, 12:22 p.m. on 12/21/2025. So that's interesting, but cool. So I'm working on that. I'm loving how it is turning out, and I want everything to be just as beautifully done aesthetically as the words that are very intentional and helping to focus on that reset of energy and that mindfulness and really bringing intention back into the body and focus into that grounding. And we've got heart chakra coming across, heart and third eye, as the overarching message for the day. Now, last time I did a channeled message, did that recording, the tarot reading also was in alignment. So I will try to quickly read the channeled message. It is really quick. And then we will get into the reading. I will try to put timestamps so that you can skip through anything you don't want to see. But thank you for being here. I really do appreciate the people who subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate the views. Thank you so much. And for those who hang in for some of those longer readings, you are rock stars. And I am not being facetious when I say that. I mean it. All right, collective channeled message, 12/21/25, but of course it's timeless. There is more than enough to go around. Your abundance is not. And this is where we get bullet points. Your financial situation, your labeled intellect, your worth is not your productivity. You determine what is right for you. Do not play small. Do not engage in unnecessary competition or the perception of it. Focus on your balance, growth, thoughts, and actions. Learn to give yourself permission to exist and just be who you are, regardless of what you think or what you were taught. And then that triggered a thought in my mind of a crow by Nikki Rowe that I absolutely love. And it is, and hopefully I quote it correctly. It's, you are not who, you learn who you are. That's what it is. I was starting to quote a Carl Jung quote. You learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. And that's probably because that quote by Nikki Rowe and then the, you are not what happened to you, you are what you choose to become, or who you choose to become. Those are two of my favorite quotes in general. All right, we're going to start with the Light Seers Pocket Tarot by Chris Ann. So that's why these cards are super tiny. And let's see what comes out. So I know the last reading, I had things coming out and I read them 333 on the clock, one at a time. Well, no, I let the message come out and then I read them. Usually I read them as they come out. So what came out just now was the Star card. And I'm seeing my workbook cover. That's funny because even in my video where I talk about my friend Kara's stuff, I'm like, I'm good at promoting others, or I like to promote others, not as good at promoting myself. But I'm seeing the energy in this as the same as the workbook. The workbook is, what is it called? Grounded and glowing, I believe is how I put it. Like that you're grounded, but you're like this internal glow and being mindful, but in that connection, like you're just really coming forth with this peace and confidence and everything. And that's what I'm seeing in this card is she's very grounded. She's sitting there, she's grounded, but she's connecting with the universe. She's connecting with so much. And she's got that string connected to that light. And this flew out of the deck. So you see, I'm not like just trying to connect this to my workbook and course that I'm working on. But it's amazing with the imagery and everything. It is very connected to what I am creating. So possibly this is a message for me to you. It's a message for anyone it resonates with. If it doesn't resonate with you, there are other messages that will. And take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It is a general read. So with this, we've got again, that glow. She's connecting with source. She's connecting with her higher self. She's connecting with things outside of all the hustle and bustle and chaos. There's such a peace in this card and such a beauty in that glowing. So this is somebody who, like I said, you're healing and you're allowing yourself to be seen, but in a way that doesn't feel scary because you know who you are. Yeah, devil's what turned over. You're letting go of those fears, those judgments. It definitely is tying into this message. You're letting go of those fears, those judgments, those expectations, who you were taught to be, and you're becoming yourself, and you're becoming very grounded and confident in who you are, allowing yourself to glow, allowing yourself to show up regardless of what other people think, because they're still caught in their devil energy, things that they may use to try to make them feel better, but it's all perception. And deception is the word that I was hearing. Deception. It's also perspective and perception. Why am I tripping over these words? Judgment is what I keep hearing. Judgment over top of what I'm saying. So it's releasing those judgments of yourself, of others, any judgments that you've had from the past. I'm looking at this card too, and we've got this teal blue color. So like getting into that heart chakra, and then also speaking the truth, because blue and green is teal. There's a water quality to this devil card because his hair is kind of flying out. And with that water, it's getting in control of those emotions. Like even down here at the bottom, we have this image of somebody who, it's like a shadow of themselves, and they are like this. And cutting out the noise is something we've talked about before. When you allow yourself to get caught up in all of these judgments and all the shoulds, and that makes sense why the Nikki Rowe quote was coming to my mind. You minimize yourself and you feel overwhelmed, and it feels like you're a shell of yourself because you're just performing. You're just trying to be something for everyone else. And the star card is saying, we're going to heal that. We're healing that inner child. We're healing that inner teenager and that inner adult who had all these experiences, and saying, this is who I am now. And the experiences may have shaped some of what I thought or even how I chose to exist, but I don't have to continue to choose to exist in that way. I can continue to be connected and grounded to the things that are meaningful to me, but I don't have to stay in this energy where I feel like I'm always having to do things for others, or I'm having to engage in things, whether that's addictions that we may have. And I'm not even just talking about substances. I'm talking about I have clients that have come to me in my capacity as a mental health clinician and said, I'm addicted to love. And it's not that you're addicted to love. It's that you really want, with this healing, you want to be heard. You want to be understood. You want to be validated. You want to feel that connection, but you're looking in all the wrong places to find it. We have the Ace of Cups coming out, and she's got this cup that has the heart that's glowing in it. And notice that she's holding it in front of her chest. We also have that blue color, but it also has the darker aspect of the third eye. So this is using your discernment. There are things that may come to you as your light glows more, as you feel more confident in yourself. You will be presented with opportunities, like this cup is being presented to you. And you have to use your intuition and your discernment to say, this is for me, this is not for me, because you don't want to go back into that devil energy. Sometimes this energy comes through as people, places, situations, could even be money opportunities that seem too good to be true. And we don't want to feel like we're not capable of getting opportunities or creating, engaging in things that bring us that abundance, that bring us that love and joy. It's again, though, just using your own personal discernment, you're entrusting yourself to make the right decision. That's one of the things that we sometimes get stuck into, is if we've been in situations where we feel like we've made the wrong decision, then we feel like we can't trust ourselves to do what we need to do. And knowing that you can trust yourself, that's part of why it's so important to get grounded. to get grounded, but then not to stay in that hermit mode where you're hiding yourself away and contemplating and growing and evolving and things like that. But you're allowing yourself to glow. You're allowing yourself to be seen. Being seen is a vulnerable thing. What is it that my young people called it? Perceived. They didn't want to be perceived. Well, guess what? People are going to perceive you. They are going to judge you. They are going to look at you no matter what. And some people are going to see you and they're going to get their own triggers and vulnerabilities and insecurities are going to come up, and they are going to feel upset at you because maybe they're jealous. Maybe they feel like they're more deserving of things than you are. That's not the truth, but that may be how they feel. And so they get upset. You just stay grounded. You stay in your own energy. You don't have to buy into that. We have the Four of Wands. So there are definitely people or situations, things that are going to be coming to you. And some of these may result in some type of a commitment. And this is where that discernment is so important. Notice how joyful all of these ladies appear. We've even got the orange shirt on. And then this one lady has a very yellowy, almost a yellowy green, but a yellow shirt. So that solar plexus and sacral chakra. We're looking at calming those anxieties, being confident in yourself, existing, just being, which was part of the channeled message. And with that orange, that creativity, that intimacy, the passion, the joy, and allowing yourself to experience those things, not holding back and limiting yourself because of whatever you were taught or you believe, or you're afraid that people will think. Okay, don't know what this one is because it felt, oh my gosh, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups. So if you focus on you, getting grounded and glowing, if you want to, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm learning. If you want to know more about the Grounded and Glowing course that I am putting out in January, it is like a 4-module course. It is not meant to be done quickly. It is meant for you to take your time and reflect. I even have sections where I put places for notes and things like that. We are going to do some meditations. We're going to talk about some practices that can be helpful to you. And I'm not just talking about lighting a candle, smelling some essential oils, taking a bath. I'm talking about going into your body and being able to really look at some of those things that keep you stuck and how to help you reset your nervous system. So anyway, you don't have to do it through me though, because there are multiple teachers and you may not feel called to me, and that's okay. But if you do, I'm excited about that. All right, but I'm excited for you because the Ten of Cups is that wish fulfilled. It's the happy families. It's what you want. You're getting, it's coming to you. But notice all these colors, the rainbow, that's the balance. In fact, I had pulled over some stones that I didn't even pick up. So I picked up this organite pyramid. I don't know why I couldn't say pyramid. And you see it's got like all the chakra colors in it and that spiral. And what I was going to say with that is balancing your chakras. Also this aura quartz raven. I like to say crow because, you know, I'm connected to crows, but it is a raven. And so with the aura, it's a quartz crystal that has some kind of metal that's bonded to it. There was a video I did. I couldn't remember that word bonded. I think I called it fused. It's funny. When you're in the moment, there's just things that you don't necessarily think of. And then also the citrine. So I was called to the citrine. No, I can't. Is it organite? Oh my gosh. And the pure citrine tumble. So that's where I'm talking about that joy. Oh yeah. And I talked about in this card, the solar plexus and sacral, the sunstone. So sun card usually representing that new beginning, joy, just like, again, there's a lot of happiness and joy that can come in. Just understand that there are things that still can bring in roadblocks, speed bumps, roadblocks, dead ends, all those things. And it's about not getting into this energy where you're sitting here with your head in your hands and feeling like you failed or that you're nothing. And that makes sense now why I got this rhodochrosite. I think I said that right. coffin-shaped stone. So we've got pink heart chakra, and then you've also got the grounding aspect of that black that we see in the stone. And I was like, why specifically the coffin? And now I know what it is. Because death card energy, you have to let go of the past in order to create something new. If you don't, you're going to stay stuck. And so again, that makes sense why this is a garnet. I don't think I have a regular flashlight, just my UV one. But with the garnet, you know, it has that very beautiful red color, and it's translucent to an extent, but you can't see it in here, and it's a darker color. So we're looking at root chakra and grounding. And then the last stone that had come to me was this kyanite with ruby palm stone. So again, palm stones are used to kind of help with anxiety, calming us, just kind of giving us something that helps to pull that nervous system down, getting back into the parasympathetic rest and digestion versus the sympathetic anxiety, stress, overwhelm, all those things. So with the ruby, we've got, again, that heart chakra and a little bit of the grounding, because ruby is kind of a pink red. And then we've also got the blue kyanite, that speaking your truth, being able to communicate clearly, and not feeling. It's also how you interpret. For me, the throat chakra, we're also looking at how we interpret communication. So definitely with the cards that have come from the tarot, this is amazing. I'll just pull them up again. We've got the star, and that is the 7. We've got the devil, which is 15, breaks down to a 6. So 7, 6. We've got the ace of cups, the 4 of wands. I didn't even really think about the numbers today, so maybe there's something with that. And the 10 of cups. Well, interesting, because we have the 7 being a sacred number. Then we've got the devil, which is a 15, which makes a 6. We've got the ace of cups. Then we've got the 4 of wands and the 10 of cups. And so the 6 from the devil, the 4 is a 10 and a 10. So you're coming up to this point of completing things, and there are good things coming to you. The only card that it's like, is this one? And it's not bad. It's just getting your thoughts in a different pattern, like rewiring your brain, shifting and reframing, challenging your negative thoughts. All those things that you may learn if you do therapy, or you can watch, videos online. But I definitely recommend that if anyone needs mental health assistance, that they do therapy. And I had totally forgotten, because somehow it got over to the side, but I had this labradorite rose. So with that, again, third eye connection, using your discernment, but I feel like with the rose, I'm hearing soften. So really, I feel like it's the energy of these 2 cards, being able to be discerning and trust your intuition, but also softening the way that you look at it. Okay, so this is the Rebecca Campbell Starseed Oracle. Now, I recognize that where I bought it from, and I knew that I knew. So this was me not fully using my discernment. I knew that it probably wasn't going to be the right deck. And I have struggled with whether I was going to use it on the channel or wait until I'm able to buy the actual Starseed Oracle deck. I will be buying the actual Rebecca Campbell Starseed Oracle deck because I want to support the creator. But it also felt important to use this. So I'm going to try to push my own judgment of myself for this aside, because there are messages from her deck that are wanting to come through with this reading. So I ask, if you are upset or offended or anything by me using a deck that is clearly not the original deck, please, by all means, you can let me know. I already am disclosing that I'm aware that I don't like that as a practice, and it's not something that I would intend to do. But it is what it is, and the messages are wanting to come through. So what messages are we needing to get from Rebecca Campbell, and the beautiful messages and images that she and who is the illustrator, Danielle Noel, created? As I said, I will be purchasing at some point the actual Starseed Oracle deck. So water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And that makes perfect sense why this card was meant to come out, or this deck wanted to come out, because that message is so in alignment with what we've talked about from start to finish of the tarot cards. That this is a time to water your garden, to nourish yourself, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Now this person looks like they're doing the ice bath thing, which I have heard can be wonderful for nervous system reset. I know some people, when I've talked to clients and we talk about anxiety techniques, we talked about eating something sour or spicy, splashing cold water on your face, because those things can help. I will tell you this though, as someone who has difficulty regulating my body temperature as it is and tends to be cold natured, I will not be walking into ice cold water. If you are able to do that, I admire you. I cannot do that. I would, even when it gets super cold outside, I'm like, I feel like I will never be warm again. All right, anything else from this deck that is modeled after or a ripoff of the Rebecca Campbell deck? That may be the only message from that deck. I mean, it's perfectly in alignment with the message that we have. Yep. All right, so one more card to round this off. We may even finish around or right before 30 minutes. Not sure why I have a magnifying glass in there. This is the Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements card deck. I do have the book. I have not finished it, but that's one of the things that as I slow my own life down in January, after 46 years of trying to run like fast as I could, doing all the things, it is one of the books that I have out that I'm hoping to get back into reading. I'm so excited that one of my colleagues, as a going away gift, Christmas gift, gave me a bookmark that is absolutely beautiful. It has a compass and it says, "You'll be missed. A compass represents going forward in a new direction and starting a new chapter in life." I'm gonna try not to cry. "May you be proud of the work you've done, the person you are, and the difference you've made. Enjoy the next chapter." And that's one of my colleagues, Sarah, gave me that. And I said, that's so perfect, because she doesn't know that I've been planning on getting back to reading. I used to be an avid reader. So I think the reason that I'm telling you all that is, one, it's good for you to also know, to be proud of the work that you've done and the difference that you've made, and that it's okay to pivot and turn and do something new. Lots of cards wanting to come out of this one. But to honor your time and your energy. So we have, don't make assumptions. That's the category this one's from. Eliminate gossip. Look at that cute little border collie. I had an uncle who had a border collie and she was beautiful and intelligent. Making assumptions is a setup for suffering, because usually we gossip about our assumptions, we make assumptions and believe we are right, then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. That's this devil energy. And whether that was the energy that you feel you were in, or that you feel like others were putting on to you, or that they were doing to you, it's time to let that go. It's time to release that. Next card that came out is from the category Always Do Your Best. Your best is changing all the time. All right, and that's what we were just talking about. Your best will depend on whether you are refreshed in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different than when you are happy as opposed to upset, or healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. We're going to end it on that because I think this is a full and complete message. It's time to let go of some of these things and allow yourself to ground and reconnect with yourself and with others, and to know that what you want, it's coming to you. It may not look like what you want it to look like. It may not be something that you always have, but that's when you learn that it's okay to change and you do other things. And letting go of these difficult situations, coping strategies that are unhealthy, thought patterns that are not helpful, whatever it is, being able to just say, it's okay. I'm going to nourish myself. I'm going to take care of my body. be tender with myself, and rest. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I hope that if it's around the holidays that you're seeing this, that you have a gentle and peaceful, if not experience, at least moments within that. And that you allow yourself to let go of the judgment. Oh, we'll take the card off the top of the deck. This is from the category, always do your best. Honor yourself. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is all about living fully and expressing what you are. And there's an 8 on here. 8 is the strength card. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate, as I said, anyone who has subscribed to my channel, watches my videos. If you checked out my website, if you're interested in the course, any of those things, if you're liking and sharing the videos, my main thing is the message gets to where it needs to go and that I'm able to help people and meet them where they're at. So thank you again. Take care. And if you're watching it over the weekend, have a peaceful weekend. If you're watching this during the week, I hope that you have and allow yourself to have moments of rest. Take a deep breath, ground yourself, refocus, and remember, you have to slow down sometimes. Take care.